Hi there. Resistance, persistence, and rewards. Oh, look at this. I'm actually sitting in my car. I'm not actually going anywhere. I came out here to try and find a lipstick, actually, that I lost. Little things mean a lot at the moment. And I just thought, gosh, it's quite nice to sit in the car. I love driving. I love being out there. And there's a resistance to going out anywhere, of course, because we don't know where this virus is lurking. And a very sad story this morning about a little boy in LA who I want you to pray for, Lincoln. And he's only 4, and yet he's got the virus. His parents were really excellent in their quarantine protocol. They did everything right, and yet he still got the virus. We don't know where it is. We don't know who's going to be infected, who's going to suffer a loss, or who's going to recover. It gives us a fascinating human resistance to doing the things we would normally do out and about. And yes, we can connect on screen, and I do that and have done that for a long time. But it isn't the same as that personal connection, that hug, that ability to get on an aeroplane and go and see your family if you want to, the ability just to wander into a shop, all those things. But persistence is what we need to do to avoid the resistance. So persistence is that we will get through this, and we will find a way, and we will be able to create a future which holds on to all the best things, I believe, that we're learning. And so it's time to know what we are learning. And I said, and rewards. And what are the rewards? How can we reward ourselves on a daily basis? What kind of rewards are you giving yourself? Maybe it's me sitting in my car thinking about driving off to the coast. Hey, wouldn't that be wonderful? Going for a little tour. Of course, we could do that as long as we don't get out of the car. But what if something happened and you had to? So it's about being responsible and sensible, but also having common sense and not allowing everything to become too mind-bogglingly restrictive. So back to the resistance. What are we resisting, and what are we persisting with? And where do we get our rewards? How do we create a reward system in a new environment? Being able to connect, maybe sit and have coffee with your loved ones instead of rushing off to work, making breakfast with them as I did this morning, going for a walk with our dog, then getting on the blower, getting on the Zoom, getting on here, doing something to connect you to whatever it is your reality is going to be and is at the moment. So think about what you're resisting and think about what you're persisting in, and make sure that you share your stories in the best way. I've loved to do Qigong. I did this in Malaysia for a few years, and I was just about to join a Qigong class locally, and the guy who does it, JC Cox, he's actually posted up some of his sessions online. So I stand in front of my computer and do Qigong in my room, watching the movements that he does on screen. And we can do things like that. We can share what we know and what we've learned on screen. And in a way, it doesn't matter who is listening. It's whether or not anybody learns from what we have to share. So one of the things you'll find on my Facebook page is a very interesting article about some of the things that we say to each other which cause frustration or annoyance or discomfort. And to be aware that we're very different, and our differences bring us joy, and they also bring us some issues sometimes when we don't feel comfortable with what somebody is saying. And maybe this is the time to really create what I call magical conversations on a daily basis. So maybe like doing my Qigong session and making sure that I move my body and get some energy flowing, that also I practice magical conversations with myself and with everybody I connect with my husband, with my dog, Honeybee, with anybody I meet on screen and anybody I'm connected with, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is to be positive-minded without being frivolous, being sensitive without being a victim, understanding the sorrow in the world, but also reminding ourselves that we're all in this together and we're on a path to something maybe, potentially, and I believe, better. So this is where I am at the moment in terms of rewards, is knowing that the reward of having a magical conversation with myself and with everybody I touch may actually spread not only happiness and joy, but also some amazing creative ideas for a future that we don't yet know, but which we can create. So I'm setting up some group sessions on hashtag create our future together. And I'd love you to join me. So look for this space. I will be setting up some times that we can get together to look at the future. So I want you to think about, without reference to the extreme traumas of the past or even the present, how would we like that future to be? What can we take that's of the best now and put it into our future? And I mean serious future, the economic, the societal, the personal, the intimate, and the familial. And the common denominator through all of those is you. Is me in my world, you in your world. And then how we bring that world together is what we really need to discover in that creative space, which is magical conversation. Magical conversation is without judgment, anger, or coercion. So when you're having a magical conversation with yourself, which is testing us at the moment, remember to be not judgmental about yourself. Be forgiving when you feel a bit down. That's okay. Life ebbs and flows. Don't be angry with yourself. Maybe get rid of your anger or your frustration by dancing or meditating or going for a walk with or without a dog and making sure you're safe with other people. And lastly, don't coerce yourself into action before it's ready. This is a huge, huge pause for the whole planet. I know we can't pause forever. There's financial, there's health, there's all sorts of issues to deal with. But be kind and pause for yourself. And if you find yourself anxious about taking action, stop and have another dance. Or sing. Or go and do some cooking. Or sit in the sun. Or start drawing. Or writing. Something to express yourself. Maybe compose a song and put it out there. I've seen that very effectively done by one of my cousin's sons, called The Expression. And that's interesting, Prince. Thank you for joining in. It's amazing how people are getting snarky. When you share something, that will always be taken. Well, that is the challenge. And this is where we have to start the conversation with ourselves. It might sound a bit audible to say having a conversation with yourself, but it is important. I don't find every moment is easy at the moment, but I choose to stop and reflect when I feel that anything negative turning up, and I have a conversation with myself, and I bring myself back into everything is going to be okay. We may not know what that is, but if you feel okay in yourself, then we can face anything. This is a tremendous wake-up call for the whole planet, and how we manage it and how we see the future. Just know that the horizon is there. If you stand, as I've always said, like a lighthouse, the lighthouse is strong in a storm, and it enables a light to flash around to keep ships safe from crashing on the rocks. Well, there's a big storm in our world, and we've been asked to stay in our ships and to sail carefully in quarantine. So let's do that. Make sure that your lighthouse message is the truth that you have. Avoid being negative, especially about other people. And it is going to happen, and it is going to happen more and more because we're in that scary place of the new month of quarantine. We've done a month. Will it be another month, or will it be 2? Will it be 3? the way we handle this is about riding out the storm in our ship, in our boat, in our vessel, the vessel which is you. And remembering that we're all in this together. Togetherness is a theme that we haven't really addressed over the last few decades. We become so enamored of being empowered as individuals, which is really good in one sense, but it's not exclusive to everybody. And at the same time, you can't make somebody empowered unless they want to be. So in my lighthouse, I have a very simple value system, which is I am my own lighthouse. I am my own value. And the way I gift it to you and all of you who listen to this or see it on the replay, the gift to you is that I honor you and your value, and I invite you to own your own value, because then we can create the we together value. We can't do it without understanding our differences and our different values. So stay positive in the value that you create in the world and that you give to other people. And thank you for those online today. Thank you, Prince, for your comments. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody out there in the world who is similarly developing their way of coping with what we have around us. It's good to talk, and it's good to smile, and it's good to be with you all. So whatever you're doing today, make sure it brings some blessing to you and to everybody in this world, especially those suffering. And yes, slow down and understand the magic that you have within you. And we will create a future that is amazing if we set our minds to. So I'm going to invite you, especially Prince, to join my conversations, which I will be setting up very soon online. And they will be small, intimate groups of people who really want to create our future together. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and be blessed wherever you are.